Greetings, fellow Devil Fruit users. Of course, as always, this is Logan Master 666 here with another review. This time being the Bleach chapter of this week, chapter 551, entitled The Burnt Offerings. And as soon as I heard this title, I knew it was going to involve Basby. Oh my god. Okay, this chapter was not bad, actually. There was just one small problem, it was just too damn short. That was my biggest problem with it, honestly. So the chapter begins, and we get Hashval, and I was like, yeah, him and Shinsui, we actually get to see shit involving them. And then there's this apparent barrier, and I got very hyped, and then very disappointed, and then very hyped again in this order. And the reason for it was because Hashval was trying to strike through this apparent barrier and couldn't get through. So I was thinking, oh my god, this is like a new technique, a new Shikai from Shinsui, or maybe it's his Bankai, holy shit. Then I come to find out it's not him, it's Nanao. And then I got excited again because I thought to myself, hey, I shouldn't bitch and complain because Nanao's doing something. I should be celebrating. Nanao's actually doing something. The biggest extent that she did before this was rip off of Kabuto's chakra palm. Hey, you want me to finish Chad? Nope. Okay, I'll put it away. Oh, and there's that one time where she hit Shunsui. That doesn't count. So she uses this kick-ass barrier, and she actually gets to do something for once. Of course, it's not going to last, of course. My biggest problem with it was that she said, and I'm quoting from a different manga site than some people might read themselves, but it's temporary, but it completely prevents intrusion from those possessing Quincy powers, and that is when I fucking face-palmed. Plot convenience off the ass. Come on. A barrier that just so happens to prevent Quincy's from getting in. This would have been really handy as a replacement for the barrier that used to be there. I mean, I understand why they didn't have it, but come on, a barrier that stops Quincy's. Just put a barrier that stops anything from getting through. Specifying Quincy's, that's just plot convenience. That's just, you know what I mean? That's too convenient for the plot. Way too damn convenient. So, yeah. So there's a standstill, so to speak, and Hashval basically says, hey, this isn't a bad technique, even though it won't hold, but you probably should have taught it to the rest of the Soul Society. Then it would have been an actual fight. You still would have lost, but it would have been an actual fight instead of a curb stomp like you're about to get. It's basically what he implies. Now, I found one scene very comedic in this very tense situation with Shinsui, where he's saying, don't say that, I didn't nominate you to lieutenant based just on your keto. And of course it was because she's hot and looked very much like Lisa Yadamaru. And she responds with, not now, not now. So that was funny. I like when Bleach brings back the humor just out of nowhere. I'm glad this arc, this 1000 Year Blood War arc, has not changed that aspect. So that's all we get from there, and then pretty much the majority of the rest has, of course, to do where we left off with Toushiro and Basby. Now, after getting impaled with that one-finger strike from Basby with the flame, people theorize that maybe he used some sort of ice clone no jutsu, you know how he does. So, because when he got his arm cut off or whatever by Halle Bell, and it turned out to just be an ice clone, I was like, holy shit, that could have ended bad. No, he's bleeding pretty badly, and he's running, which is kind of cowardly, but of course, people who run at captain level aren't running because they're afraid they're going to lose. They're running because they're planning a strategy, a trap, which is exactly what he basically does. He plans a trap of sorts after Basby does this weird stomp thing or whatever, and basically it's an ice trap. What more do you want to say about it? There's a couple of ice things that are in the shape of, what's it called? A hexagon. I believe hexagon is six-sided. I don't recall. Yeah, I think so. I remember. But anyway, he does a rip-off of Rukia's Shikai, and it's called Rokui Hyoketsui. Fuck it. Six-coat binding ice formation, and it's basically a pillar of ice. It's like Rukia's, but not as smooth, and I would assume stronger. So I was like, come on, it's cool and all, but it's a rip-off of Rukia's Shikai. You know it is. So, unsurprisingly enough, Basby just goes and blows it apart. So, Basby's not happy. He's saying, I told you I could kick your ass with just one finger. Are you trying to piss me off to the point where I'll have to use two? So I'm just thinking, oh my god, this guy could do so much damage with one finger. Imagine what he did if he actually fucking tried. The whole theory behind him saying he offsetted Yamamoto's flames is starting to become more like, hey, my flames are close to Yamamoto's. I'm sure that's not the case, but goddamn, this guy is just fucking destroying shit without even trying. So he uses two fingers, and at that point I was like, you're fucked. Two burner finger, and I was impressed when I saw the explosion. It reminded me kind of like Aizen's Fraggers. Oh my god. Holy shit. Just fucking looked like a fucking nuke went off in Soul Society. And oh my god, Toushiro's sword broken. And now the panels are very confusing here at first. Now in this panel, it appears that there are two white lines going down his torso, where the fingers would basically be. And the previous panels, I checked, and he didn't have that in front. At first I thought it was just a sash. At first I thought all that happened was his sword got broken. I noticed that those were two finger marks. So I theorized that, holy shit, Toushiro just got cut in half, very much like Yamamoto did. But the very next panel afterward, you see his back, and there's no lines through it. There's his sheath, but that's it. There's no indication that he was cut in half, like it implied, because you could see through him. So it's very ambiguous at this point. And I'll get back to that in a moment. The next panel shows the guy whose name I can't remember with the little cut on his lip, who stole Shiro's Bankai, of course, and said that the captains who lacked their Bankai, we promised to take care of them ourselves. I guess that was an order or what. Now, I don't really know quite the reason for it. Maybe it's plot convenience of sort, but if Kubo was going to go that route, he would have just had this guy, whose name I forgot, fight him anyway. So I think there's an actual reason as to why they're doing so. It would explain why BG9 actually bothered to look for Soifon, specifically. So yeah, it would make sense after stealing your Bankai. Now, maybe they stole the Bankais and then needed to go after them specifically, or they were their targets from the very fucking get-go, and that's why they went after them to steal their Bankais. So we'll have to get more information on that later. So basically, the next panel, just before the page before the end, where you see Boss B and the other guy standing, below that, you see Toushiro damn near passed out, and it's so weird because he's got that white sash-looking thing in front of him, but it again implies that he was cut in half, and it's so fucking confusing. I want to say he was cut in half like this, but the panel, a couple panels afterward on his back does not imply that. It almost implies that he was just cut through in the middle and got pretty deep, kind of like Whitebeard getting a Kainu fisted. It didn't go out through the back, it just went deep in, but it wouldn't be white, it would be black. His shit would be charred and bloody or something, but it wouldn't be pure white. It's basically implying that he got fingered, well, in half, but it's just really fucking ambiguous. So if someone wants to explain that to me, please do. I'm hoping Tekken 101 will have a good explanation for it. I'm hoping he'll notice. And give me some exposition on that. So the final page basically shows Mayuri in his weird-ass suit, and he basically says, so it seems I'm the only one who can fight even without a Bankai. And I'm not going to go into that. I mean, both times this Bankai showed up, it pretty much got demolished. So I don't know. I don't know what he means by that. I mean, Soifon's Shikai seems more fearsome than Mayuri's, and Mayuri is yet to fight as of now to say that his Shikai is actually OP in comparison to the other captains whose Bankais got stolen. So, from one scientist to another, Uruhara calls Mayuri and basically says, I've just completed a method of getting your Bankais back. Fuck yes, what I want to see, and this, I'll admit it, this is entirely inspired by the Reigai arc. I want to see all the four captains who got their Bankai stolen, and then switch up. Basically, I want to see Asnaut with Byakuya's Bankai fight up against, let's say, Toushiro or Soifon with their Bankais. So you get a Bankai clash. Now, that's not to say that Asnot is stronger with Byakuya's Bankai than Byakuya is. Byakuya lost, of course, because he didn't have a Bankai to fucking use. So, you know, it's not going to be like, oh, BG9 loses to Toshiro, therefore Toshiro's stronger than Soifon. No, it doesn't work that way, obviously. But it's still going to give us some insight as to which Bankais may or may not have advantages or effects over each other. And this will help resolve the really big issue of the remaining captain's Bankais, particularly Kenpachi's, Jushiro's, and Shunsui. We want to see their Bankai so badly, and we know given the circumstances they're going to have to use it, but they're going to be afraid to because of the fact that these Quincy's can steal their Bankai. So hopefully we'll get some resolution as far as that's concerned, so basically we can actually see these Bankais. I want to see Aizen's Bankai, just because, even though he claimed he didn't need it because of Hogyoku reasons, irrelevant. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the chapter. Toshiro got Toushirowned. That's probably going to be the title of this. Holy shit. Baz B made him his Baz bitch. I'm sorry. I expected Toshiro to make some kind of comeback, and I'm really surprised we didn't see Rangiku in this chapter at all. At least go, Captain! Or you know, flip out, like, what the fuck? But we didn't get any of that. But that's okay. We'll get plenty. As far as Kubo is doing with making this just holy shit, yeah, all bets are off. So Toshiro fans, don't immediately assume he's going to survive. Don't immediately assume he's going to die. We don't know yet. We don't know. So that's all for my review. One Piece will be up next, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you guys next time.